Man, oh man, Bitcoin has been having some really great days this week, and the charts are showing that we are very likely in for some more positive price action. US presidential contender speaks on crypto, and some game-changing Ethereum news coming out of Europe. Because this is the cryptolark channel. This is where you subscribe for all of the latest and hottest happening in crypto land. So let's start off by taking a quick peek in at the charts. Now, overall, Bitcoin has had a wonderful January. Some really crazy gains happening, up 32% in the month of January. I mean, everything can just change so damn fast in crypto, particularly investor sentiment. Now, earlier this week, we were looking at the 200-day moving averages. Bitcoin was just starting to peak above it, as I'm sure you remember from my video a few days ago. Now, that's the orange line on the chart here that we're looking at. Well, at this point, we now have some very definitive proof that we are moving back into a bull trend, with daily candles closing well above the 200-day moving average. Now, Bitcoin closing above the 200-day moving average is, of course, generally the beginning of a positive upward price action situation. Now, yes, sometimes you can get a fake out like the news-driven China getting back into blockchain but not Bitcoin kind of thing that we saw going on a few months ago. But look back at early 2019 on the left-hand side of this chart. That break above the 200-day moving average really signaled the beginning of a very strong period of price action, which was driven by much more than just a one news item related pump. I think that we are repeating a pattern here, much more like what we saw in early 2019. Now, on the Bitcoin monthly charts, we have broken over a key level of resistance as well, which is very important for that long-term trend. You can see the line that I have on the chart here and how that coincides with some very important historical price points on the monthly chart for Bitcoin, particularly the $9,150 area, which we have now broken past. While the monthly candle is not yet finished, if these prices do hold above these levels for the next day, then it will definitely confirm that overall upward bias that we are currently seeing in the market. The monthly MACD for Bitcoin has also just switched over to green on the histogram as well, so just more signals that we are getting some real strength coming in behind this current price rally. Now, me personally, I'm really interested to see if Bitcoin is just going to blast right past $10,000 or if we are getting set up for a couple of rejections on our way to cross the $10,000 mark. What do you think? We're going to blast over $10,000 in the coming days, or we're going to get rejected at the 5-digit mark a few times before we can definitively cross over that level? Let me know down below. Now, all of that being said, this could just be the liftoff for something of a pre-halving Bitcoin price hype rally, and then of course followed by a correction post-halving. But let's definitely keep our eyes on this to see where we're moving. Anyway, I've got another interesting factor that I want to discuss here with you as well, is that Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high for its hash rate, cracking over 123 million terahash. Now, this is something that's going to happen a lot over the next year, but I just wanted to underline this one in particular so you can understand the insanity of 123 million terahashes. 1 terahash is equivalent to 1 trillion hashes per second. 1 trillion! So the Bitcoin network is secured by 123 million trillion hashes a second. A frickin' second. Come on, man. That's crazy secure Bitcoin, yo. Anyway, enough of the charts. Let's listen to what presidential contender Andrew Yang had to say about crypto in a recent interview.
There's a lot of people who are like really big cryptocurrency fans, for example, who have, they love Andrew Yang. And when I talk to them, they're like, yeah, ask him about crypto. What would you do with regards to regulation of that and say Bitcoin exchanges? Do you support the right of people to use their bank accounts, credit cards, et cetera, to move into cryptocurrencies and other forms of money that aren't as easily tracked by centralized authorities?
Well, what I would say is that we need to have a uniform set of rules and regulations around cryptocurrency use nationwide, because right now we're stuck with this hodgepodge of state-by-state treatments, and it's bad for everybody. It's bad for innovators who want to invest in this space. So that would be my priority, is just clear and transparent rules so that everyone knows where they can head in the future and that we can maintain competitiveness. Because to me, the underlying technology of cryptocurrencies is very, very high potential, and we should be investing in it.
But do you support sort of monetary freedom for people that want to move their money away from fiat currencies, get their money out of the banking system into cryptocurrencies? Because right now you have banks restricting payments to these platforms and so forth, and people feel like government regulations are essentially impeding in their desire to do that.
Well, right now, people who are investing in these currencies are finding a way to, to do so and make use of their investments. No, I don't think that you could impede it with regulation if you tried.
So look, it comes as a surprise to not many of you that Andrew Yang has been a longtime friend of crypto and has made many positive comments on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies more broadly in the past, and he even accepts crypto for campaign contributions for his presidential run, so he's definitely a pro-crypto candidate. But to his comments specifically, first, I really want to just agree with him on his assessment of U.S. regulation of crypto. I mean, what an absolute crazy mess going on in the U.S. Just look at how it is different between state to state, and New York's a great example. The New York bit license, it's ridiculous, and it has suffocated business growth in New York for years. And it's totally unnecessary. It's total BS. What the U.S. needs is clear and concise tax guidance and federal laws which will allow for the easy adoption of and access to Bitcoin all across America. But the most important thing that Andrew Yang said in this interview, it was just the plain and simple truth. Crypto can't be stopped. Pandora's box has been opened. You are not putting Bitcoin back in that box. It is here to stay. Yang knows what's up. Now, all that being said, all of the polling for the presidential race shows that Yang has approximately a snowball's chance in hell of actually getting the Democratic nomination, with it increasingly showing a tight race between a surging Sanders and an increasingly embattled Joe Biden. But what would be very interesting to see would be to see Yang actually get a cabinet position in a new administration or some other high-level position in a new Democratic-run government. That's, of course, if the Democrats win the coming election in November. But time will tell. Because it would be great, really, just to see somebody that is actually pro-crypto, that, understands crypto, in the halls of power with, the ear of the president readily available. Time will tell, of course, how all that plays out. Now let's move on to some exciting Ethereum news. Swiss regulators have given the go-ahead for what was purportedly the country's first fully compliant initial public offering on a blockchain. Swiss blockchain firm Overture will launch a compliant IPO and offer ordinary Class A shares natively on Ethereum. This is massive for so many reasons. It's kind of crazy, actually, when you start to break it all down, think about it. But the financial world, it's about to be ripped wide open by public blockchains. Public blockchains, most importantly. I don't care about the private blockchains. This is a fully regulated, fully compliant public offering for a legit company on Ethereum. And this news comes just a few days after this story out of Liechtenstein, where a fully regulated tokenized real estate fund has been approved by the country's financial market authority. The fund provides exposure to a global real estate portfolio through their AARGO or Ergo security tokens, built, of course, again on Ethereum. Each token represents one share in that real estate fund. And that particular announcement, that came hot on the heels of a similar announcement out of Switzerland. A building on one of Zurich's hottest shopping streets has been tokenized for a value of around $130 million. This is the start of an unstoppable trend that will revolutionize the global property markets. It's kind of like companies starting to get email addresses back in the early 90s. They're the first movers. Soon everyone's going to do it. And also, can I just mention real quick, the days of the ICO, man, they are well and truly over. While the IEO might have been the more successful death blow to the ICO, this new wave of on-chain IPO and real estate, that definitively means that there will be no significant resurrection of ICOs in any form in the future. IEOs, yeah, those will stay popular, but the ICO, you're done. You're done, son. Take it home. And the same way that real estate on public blockchains is about to take off big time, I think we are also on the cusp of seeing hundreds of companies, just loads and loads of companies doing IPOs on Ethereum and other blockchains. It won't all just be on Ethereum, but a lot of it's going to fall on Ethereum. We had another company last summer called INX, which announced their intention to also do an IPO on Ethereum, so that's still moving forward. These are the early adopters. But plugging traditional financial assets like stocks directly into public blockchains has incredible implications. Just imagine for a moment being able to take out a cash loan against your stocks just in the click of a button using something like a multi-collateral maker DAO. Or being able to trade your stocks on a DEX, keeping the custody of your stocks the whole time in your Ethereum wallet. Or being able to swap your stocks for tokenized real estate while having your coffee in the morning. Or even getting your stable coin based stock dividends paid out to your crypto.com wallet, and then spending those dividend payments with your crypto debit card to get 2 to 5% cash back as a crypto bonus. That would be really, really cool as well. It just expands the options. You can even, of course, then use crypto.com to lend out those coins you already made from dividends to get way better rates of return than you'll find in any gosh darn bank. There's a reason why the crypto lending markets are so hot right now. Things start to get very interesting when you realize this high level of potential and of customization for earning and investing. It's wild. Traditional financial products launched on public blockchains, they're going to dramatically lower the costs of doing business. They're going to remove a lot of the friction from doing business. They're going to make things much more borderless than they currently are. They're going to allow for greater automation. They're going to largely cut out those rent-seeking middlemen or greatly reduce the fees of those rent-seeking middlemen. Now, while this IPO in Switzerland is just one of the first ones that we're seeing come to Ethereum, there's going to be so many more. But let me flip it back to you. Would you buy an IPO issued on Ethereum? Do you think that public blockchain issued IPOs are going to be the next big thing? Let me know about it down below. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video. Seriously, I massively appreciate your support, so thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. And of course, if you did enjoy today's video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.